I've been worried about violence in Palestine since the first Intifada. I can remember hearing that unemployment rates were at 70% at that time. Can you imagine? 7 out of 10 people didn't have a job. The Intifada started with just boycotting Israeli products. Israel retaliated by closing the borders. Jobs were in Israel, so that's why unemployment spiked. It's really easy to resort to violence when you've got nothing, because you've got nothing to lose. Helping to stop the violence, part of it is creating a middle class. When you've got a larger middle class, you've got a more stable political system. It means finding jobs. So back 1990, because the first Intifada went from 1988 to about 1991, I started thinking about what kind of business can we start in Palestine? Well, this is before the internet. So there had to be real products. But Israel closes the borders. You can't ensure your supply lines. You can't be sure you're going to get your products out. And I couldn't get anybody interested in doing that. And I really couldn't answer all of the possible problems. So I let it simmer. And over the years, as the internet was developed, I kept coming up with possible industries that could be created that use the internet. And we could employ people in Palestine and help reduce, by a little bit, that unemployment rate. But it was this past summer when I was in a conference in Rome, at an educational conference, and I met over 50 educators from all over the globe, that I met the provost of Bethlehem University, and she came to me with a proposition. She said, you know, I know that you would like to work with us on some kind of project, and I have an issue for you. And I said, what is it? She says, well, our School of Science graduates, more than 50% of them have no jobs when they graduate. I want you to help us find jobs. And I said, sure. I had no idea. But I said, sure. And I let it simmer for about 10 days. I have to tell you that here at Manhattan College, I teach management of innovation. So I'm a big proponent of creativity and innovation. And I also knew about a company that was started in Palo Alto, California by 2 professors from Stanford. It's IDEO, I-D-E-O. And they are an innovation, creativity, business consulting firm. And I said, well, we can do that. So that's one thing. I came to find out that there's a really good internet backbone, particularly around Bethlehem University, but in Palestine. And so I'm looking at a population that's well educated. They've got a great work ethic, but they're physically constrained because Israel controls the borders. And those borders can be shut down at any moment. Now, there's sometimes when they know they're going to be shut down around holidays, but there's other times when they're shut down and they don't know that they're going to be shut down. So they're physically constrained. So I said, well, we need to figure out jobs that can be done via the internet, because no company is going to build a factory in Palestine. L'Oreal is not building a cosmetics firm in Palestine. They'd become a bombing site. No one's going to do that. But the internet we could work with. So that's when I came up with the project. I decided that what we needed to do was create an innovation, creativity, business consulting arm of our college. And we need everybody. We need all the majors who want to volunteer to be involved, to be a part of our team. Because it is the diversity of that team that can help us look at things, at our projects and our issues from a number of different perspectives. To be able to take different knowledges and different skills and put them together to come up with a synthesis that is the answer to the problem at hand. And so we have three themes. create jobs to lessen the violence. And I think that's going to help. And anytime that you can get people working, now they have something to lose. They've got money. They can support their families. They can pay rent for their apartments. They have self-respect. So I want to create jobs. And we're starting with the science students. We're creating teams for our innovation business consulting groups. And they need to be diverse teams. Research has shown that teams that work the best are the ones that have diversity. Diversity of gender, diversity of skills, diversity of knowledge, diversity of culture. And you can look at things from different directions. Definitely out of the box. Well, I know at our college we have a lot of diversity. We have a number of people who are first generation coming to college. So we've got diversity of classes, we've got diversity of gender. We've got it. So I said, we can do this. The other thing about this project is that it allows students to work with real world issues. In education, it's called problem-based learning, where students take their knowledge and their skills and put them to practical application. And they remember what they've done so much better. The people they've helped find solutions for are better. So it's definitely a win-win situation. So I've had this 26 years for ways to increase employment in Palestine. We've got this great work ethic. As I said, IDEO is what's possible. And we're looking to help solve problems of community groups first. You've already heard about the Bronx. We're the poorest county in New York, lowest level of educational attainment. We have community groups that come to us for help. We've been consulting for community groups at Manhattan College for over 35 years. This will merely put into play what we've been doing, but on a dual campus set of teams, because we've got a pilot project going with Bethlehem University. So at the moment, I've got science students that have been well-versed in biology, physics, chemistry, and so they've got narrow knowledge but deep knowledge. They have been well-schooled in sit down, shut up, and listen to the teacher in the front. But I don't want them to do that anymore. I want them to be creative, and I want them to be innovative, and I need them to get up and play with those concepts. Think about those theories, create something new, put it to practical application, and break out of those shells that they've been living in for up to 16 years. And so we realized that this new idea of the project needs to be put in phases. So we first need the first phase to help train them to get up out of their seats. We created a business analytics competition, and we've invited them to participate. If they can get across the border, they can come here. If they can't leave, then they will do it via web conferencing. And they have fielded a team. In fact, they've got a competition going. They fielded 4 teams. And we said, well, we need 1 from the school. So now they're having a competition within themselves to see which of the 4 teams is best. And they're going to send the best team to us, either in person or via the webcam. We run an innovation contest, and we've invited them to participate. And it's up to 4 people on the team. That goes off next Tuesday. I'll let you know what happens. We've built bridge courses for non-business undergraduate majors, and they're all online. And we said, you can take those courses. So not only will you have science credits, but you'll have business credits on your transcript. And then you'll have another document saying that you know more than you did before, and you have broadened your scope. We're creating dual campus research teams starting this summer. We're going to have several Palestinian students from Bethlehem University come to our college, and they're going to be working on research teams. I'm going to have one Bethlehem student with 2 Manhattan College students looking at my next idea, which was creating science teaching tools. I'm sure you've heard of the Khan Academy. Well, I said, well, we need something like that for science. we have a real push on for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So if you're a science student, you probably can tell me what was the worst thing you ever had to learn and what could have helped you. And so we would like to start thinking of this whole universe of science teaching tools to help from first grade on up through college. And I've been sourcing ideas from our School of Science as to what might be useful. Well, we're going to take a summer and start looking at that, as well as looking at producing science teaching videos, and then just distribute them. For the tools, I'm hoping that we can create tools that can be sent via file, either printed out on a regular printer or printed out on a 3D printer. And that we don't have to worry about physically shipping anything. Again, we get around that border problem. But I also know that for some of our science students, that's not going to fit them. So I have a team, but we're very busily trying to think of jobs that can be done via telecommuting. So we're trying to identify jobs that are scientific in nature, that they could choose from and work from Palestine, but really anywhere in the world. So that's phase one, to just start breaking them out of their shell. And I think any college campus could do this. Phase two is to invite community groups to bring us issues. Try it out of chops in terms of having a team. And what I see is being able to paste the project on an electronic bulletin board and say, I need to field a team who wants in. I'm thinking teams about 7 students, a professor if they want to join, an alum if they want to join, because alumni often want to give back. And now they have more experience than they had when they were undergraduates. And what a great melding of experience that we could have. I figured take 2 weeks to pull a team together. If we're able to pull it together, I can go to the client and say, we're a team, we've got the semester or we've got the academic year, we're taking the project. If I can't field a team, I have to go and say, I'm sorry. We can wait a week, we can wait 2 weeks, but maybe we have to wait till next semester. Phase 3 is where we open ourselves up to consulting for small businesses. Again, with teams that are at least dual campus, dual country. I'm hoping to extend this to several other campuses around the world. I know there's a college in France that's interested. I know Minneapolis is interested, so we're looking to expand this so that we get, again, more geographic diversity on our teams. And the idea is that we're helping ourselves by putting our own experience to work, that problem-based learning, but we're also reaching out to help lift up others within our community to help float more of those boats. And my goal is to get one more job, one person at a time. Thank you.